Hey, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. Thank you for being here. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. I'm here with an energy update. It's been a while since I've been here, and the only reason was that I needed to live a little bit and just figure out what the new energies were all about. And well, it's been a while. I think it's been 2 weeks, but usually, I post an energy update almost every week. But in the past 2 weeks, it's has been just too crazy, too crazy. So let's get into it. Today is what, November 4th. What did we have? We had a new moon. I can't remember when, but it doesn't matter. That's not really what I want to talk about. I just want to talk about the energies overall and all these changes that we're going through at this time. And I know it may sound like I'm repeating myself from one video to another, but hey, it's a cycle, it's energy. It's just like week after week, there's new things coming in, and these past 2 weeks were crucial, were a huge pivotal moment for the masculine energy and the feminine energy and the twin flames. So, if you're in a twin flame connection, perhaps you felt this or you're about to feel it. And when I just want to say something, when it comes to energy updates, it's okay if you're not feeling it. It doesn't mean that you're off. It just means that either you're unable to feel it at this time, but it's still going on for you, or that you're about to feel it. You may be ahead, you may be behind. It doesn't matter because there's no being ahead, there's no being behind. It's energy, it's a circular movement. And at times, you may feel things before they happen or before the collective, and at other times, you may feel them after. It all depends on our own personal journey, what we do on a daily basis, and how we allow things to show up, how we deal with things. So, in the past 2 weeks, we had huge energies of change. And I know I say that often, but the month of October was rock and roll, and November will be rock and roll as well, but in a different way. In my part of the world, we just had a pretty important fall storm where a lot of people didn't have electricity for a few days, couple of days. And I was part of these people, and I was reading the energy behind that storm, and I was reading the energy of the collective and what was going on at that time in the world, within people. And it was no coincidence that that fall storm showed up. It was a huge wind of change. And already now on Monday, that storm started on Thursday night to the point where Halloween was postponed in some cities. How crazy is that? On Thursday night on Halloween, the rain was so hard and so crazy that some cities decided to postpone Halloween the next day. But then the next day, the wind was so crazy, that's where the power outage started happening, and it was dangerous, and it wasn't like a tornado or anything like that, but really strong winds. And it was basically the earth, Gaia, cleansing itself. And I don't know what happened during that time on the planet because I was focused on what was going on with me. I was feeling all these changes energetically, but physically as well. And if you look back at this summer, if you go backwards 2, 3, 6 months back, notice how you felt a density following you all the time. And for some people, how they were tired of feeling this way and they just wanted to move forward and move on and let go of things, and they kept on surrendering and wondering, but I surrender, why, how come it's not happening for me? This is the time. It is happening now. It's showtime. It's this huge phase of transformation and internal shifts. For the divine feminine, a lot of them, especially in twin flame connections, were at the end of their ropes dealing with this connection, dealing with the lack that the divine masculine was bringing to the energy. That time is gone or is changing, always depending where you're at in your journey. I can't stress that enough. That time is over. For a lot of divine feminine, they were able to find closure on this connection. Whatever closure means for you, whether it is walking away from it, final forgiveness, feeling that finally your divine masculine is seeing with eyes wide open what they put you through. Because for a lot of twin flames, it's been a rough journey of no communication, of miscommunication, of judgment, of lack, of running away, of being disrespectful, name it. And that phase is over for a lot of people. A lot of the divine masculine were able to finally like put the gloves down and stop the fighting or the resisting against. And they were able to open their eyes, realize, feel it to the deepest of their core, feel who they are as twin flames, who they are as people, who they are as human beings. And they've been able to embrace this completely. And this is a first for a lot of people. This is a huge phase for a lot of the divine masculine. A lot of them were afraid of this twin flame connection, that powerful energy. They were afraid of their divine feminine, the energy that would just be created, that third energy from the two people involved. They were afraid of that. And finally, for a lot of them, they were able to complete huge cycles of karma, especially related to karmic relationship, personal karma as well, past life stuff. It's always the same thing anyway when it comes to karma. And now that karma, we need to be careful at this time not to create new one, because the pace is a lot faster. So if you do something with positive intention, you are receiving the end of this more rapidly than we were in the past. So if you do good, you receive good quite quickly. If you do something with an intention of hurting people, of being vindictive, because a lot of this is going on at this time, being vindictive or trying to teach a lesson, trying to make people show people, this is coming back to you very quickly. Like the train is nonstop running and you're going to get hit by this. So for a lot of the divine masculine, they had a long time, a very long time to reflect on their lives and realize and understand. And all of this because they were guided by the universe, by their spiritual team. Whether we believe in this or we don't, magical stuff is happening at this time. Really magical, like the magician, like a shapeshifter, like things are being shifted, lifted, are being recalibrated, rebalanced in order to embody the feminine and masculine energies within us in the very, very powerful, harmonious way. This is our true nature, to be in balance between these two energies and to know when it's time to be more in the feminine or more in the masculine, depending on what we go through in our daily lives. We're human beings, and at times we are called to be more pushy or more masculine, and at times we are called to be more laid back, more nurturing, more in the divine feminine. And for a lot of divine masculine, they are finally embracing their feminine within. They are able to work with their feminine within. They're able to see what happened in this connection, in the twin flame connection. See how at times they were closed minded, and all of this because they've been led and guided to see their authentic truth and to see themselves for who they really are as divine beings, twin flame or not. Meaning that this applies to everyone, but it seems like in the collective there's a wave of twin flame, of masculine, divine masculine twin flames that are stepping up a few steps forward and up, and it's no joke. It's not a game anymore. It's time to make this happen. A lot of them are now awakened to their mission, not personal mission, but collective mission. And perhaps you felt this from your twin flame. And I know when we go through phases like these, this is also when we hear other readers or other people that are not twin flames bashing twin flame connections or readers. And whenever I hear that, I mean, I understand how they can see what they think they see, but obviously they're not twin flames, because when you're in this kind of connection, there is no way to disconnect. There's no way to run away from it totally. It just can't happen. If it's part of the contract to meet up your twin flame in this lifetime, to meet up and be together or not be together or just work together and whatnot, it's impossible to get away from it. The Let's call them the guides and the angels, but your spiritual team and all the beings on the other side of the veil, sorry, are working with us nonstop. And the more we try to get away from it, the harder they work to make us see, understand, and embody this truth that is part of us. So this phase of huge transformation is all about bringing those spiritual energies into the physical world and reality. And for a lot of people, it means manifesting a lot of things that they've been working for, manifesting another layer of this spiritual ascension, this spiritual path, manifesting their twin flames, perhaps manifesting communication with their twin flame. And talking about communication, this is a huge thing for the divine masculine at this point. They are on the spiritual level communicating nonstop. And for a lot of them, they are trying to do this physically. Some of them just don't know how yet, because they realize how they acted and how they behaved, perhaps. Maybe not. Maybe that's not your story, but for a lot of twin flames, it is. For a lot of twin flames, it's about the separation. It's about how people treated one another, and they've come to the conclusion that maybe they were off track, and now they are trying to repair. They are trying to reach forgiveness. They are asking for forgiveness. So if you're feeling this spiritually, and if you are, these are really strong signs at this point. And if you're feeling this healing energy, Pretty much like at the beginning when you first met your twin, that love bubble that some people call, this is the phase we're at. For some others, the story might be a little bit different, but we're all set at different times to meet or to reconnect and to reach that point in that balance. And all that matters is just doing the work and moving forward. And that work, I have I have no words to describe how deep that work is. It takes you to places that you don't even think exist inside of you. So if you're a true twin flame, you feel this, you know this, you believe this. If you're not, perhaps it's harder for you to understand what people are talking about when they refer to these situations, to these feelings, to these purging time. Because we've been in a purging time. We've been purging, like mainly physically. Perhaps for some people it was emotionally, like by crying a lot, but physically to make space in the physical reality for new things to show up. For 2020 to unfold, for the year 2020 to bring you what you've been working for. And it's happening. A lot of people are seeing a lot clearer. Even if you don't think yourself as being clairvoyant, somehow, somewhere, we all are. It's a matter of understanding the symbols, understanding the signs, and paying attention, because throughout our day, we have these thoughts passing through our minds. We have these visions passing through our third eye. And before we get this awakened, it happens. We just are unaware that it is happening. Once you start paying attention to it and working with it and understanding that these images are real, they're messages, they're synchronicities, they're symbols being sent from the spiritual level to your physical body, to your physical vehicle, for you to understand what they mean, it becomes your internal guidance. And the more you do so, the more you work with that, the better you get at it, the clearer you get at it. And you start understanding that all your life you've had these images, these visions, these thoughts trying to get to you. And the divine masculine is now embodying this. A lot of them refused to believe in these things before, but they were worked on. Call it divine intervention, call it their spiritual team, waking them up. Now they're different. They are different. They pay attention. They listen, which is something they weren't doing before. Before they were like really in their mind, in their ego, trying to process everything mentally. And whatever didn't make sense, they would just disregard it right away, instead of going that step further into, maybe there's something for me to understand there. Maybe there's a message for me that I need to get. Now, they are. They are. A lot of them are receiving visions and images all day long, and they're having fun with this. And those images, for a lot of them, is about their mission in the collective as a twin flame, their mission as a person, their mission towards their twin flame. And apologies are on the menu these days. Really, really strong. These energies of forgiveness, apologies, asking for an apology, coming forward, trying to explain themselves or ask for forgiveness because they now see things totally differently. And as far as the divine feminine, it's about allowing it to unfold without pushing, just allowing, about accepting, about receiving, about being truly in their feminine and receiving, and nurturing the connection, nurturing all spiritual aspects of their lives. November is a huge month of transformation and grounding energy in all sense of the word. So I remember in October, I was saying it's important to stay grounded. It's even more important for November because we are integrating those energies, those new layers that are uh, quite potent, quite strong for a lot of people. And if you're a sensitive person, hypersensitive, you have become even more sensitive. So you're feeling stuff that for you is normal, like a second skin, and you'll see other people around you are just waking up to this energy thing that you can feel someone else's energy even though their body is trying to show something else. So staying grounded to receive these energies, focusing on positive stuff, on love, always love, more love, and staying true. There's no more time. A lot of readers and blogs and videos, I've been seeing this in the past, year or 2 years, that people were saying there's no more time, including myself. There's no more time. There's no more time to not speak your truth, to not be authentic. Well, this is still going on. 2020 is coming, and 2020 is the year to be aligned, is the year to manifest your relationship, to manifest your kids, your your life, your mission, to be working in your mission. So at this point, if let's say you've always wanted kids in your life and you have none, stay positive. Keep that in your heart. 2020 is going to bring something different. And I know for those that are not awakened to this, at this point, they will say, yeah, but you guys always say that. That's how it is. It's a cycle, it's a sequence, and it doesn't end. It never stops as long as we're alive. And probably on the other side too, I don't know, but it doesn't stop. It's an ongoing process. It's a continuous process. There's no break. Some break, I should say, but no stopping. There's no stopping this. So keep in your heart what you want to see come true in your life. Um, heart coherence. It's really time to learn this. If it's not done already, it's going to be important for 2020. We're at this time where we have all our tools. We've been through a shitload. We have our tools now, and it's important to be masters at them, to use them accordingly, according to the situations we're in, according to the people we're dealing with. And look what happens. If you stay in your truth and you are confronted in a situation where someone is not being truthful, you're going to see what happens. The pace of karma is so quick these days. These people are not going to last. They are not going to last. The truth will come out, and it's going to be painful for people that are resisting. It's going to be painful for people who choose to put their truth aside, because whatever the reason is for doing that, you're not helping yourself, you're not helping the collective, and you're only postponing in the future for something that needs to happen now. And November, December are 2 months about completing cycles. These past 2 weeks was about completing huge cycles of karma. Karma from this lifetime, past life, and so on. And making space, physical space in your life to receive, really receive. And if you are disciplined and you do your spiritual work and you accept things for what they are right now, you will reap what you sow. You will receive. what you've been putting in. So keep doing the work. It's not about, oh my God, this is so tough. Yes, it is tough. It is excruciating. It is, especially if you're a twin flame, especially if you came here to help people make that shift. It is extremely demanding. It changes your life in ways that you never saw coming, as if everything you had in mind as a kid, as a young adult, as a teenager was changed for something, for a new mission. I know. I'm in this too, and but by now, or at this point, it should all make sense. It should all make sense why you had to go through all these things. We are new people, and November, December is about understanding who we are even further, even deeper, to embody this in love. And you're probably at a point where you're about to reach a point where you're like, oh my God, I changed so much. If we go 5 years back, 10 years back, I was empty. And now you're probably at the point where you're like, I don't need anything. I'm good. I'm just good. It doesn't matter. I'm good. That's the point to reach where you're truly trusting yourself and your guides and those visible energies or beings or guides, and trusting that the universe has your back, because the universe has your back. If you put in the right thing, you're going to get the right thing. So focus on the positive, on positive energies, on loving energies, and everything will work out, even though it's not making sense mentally at this point. Twin flame or not, things are changing, things are moving forward. And again, and I know I've said this before, some people have used the twin flame label in a distorted way. That too will go. And for those who say twin flames are just made up or blah, 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 well, either they truly are not twin flames and they don't believe in this. But for those who are, 2020 is the year that things will shift and change for good. Either disconnecting completely and going on a different path, or finally, for those that are ready, getting into the real game, getting into mission, getting into disconnection even deeper. It's here physically, it's here. So everybody, I'd like to think that everybody on earth has a role to play in this. Some people may not, but that most people have a role to play in this, and it's okay that people are saying, twin flames, they don't really exist. That's fine. Doesn't matter. What matters is the harmony between the divine masculine and feminine, as above, so below. So that whatever energy is going on in the spiritual world may be manifested and embodied in the physical world. And this is what's happening right now. So let's just keep on working and moving forward. And that's it. That's it. Short video. Thank you for being here and listening. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can do so on my Facebook page at Indigo Girls Readings, on Instagram at indigogirl555, or using my email at indigogirl555 at gmail.com. Until the next time, be well.